But what's the ingredient to keep that? Is it consistency? Is it what is it?
Being too stupid to give up. That's what life is, right?
Yeah.
You're always fighting to get to the next level, to upgrade your life, to give your family more. So it's always a fight. So why not fight for yourself?
What basically sets you apart from everybody else in your industry? Why should I go to Luke and ask for his expertise?
Because I'm going to be real with you. If you're interested in something that's going to run your pockets dry, I'm going to tell you. And I'm probably more accessible than most people on the planet. My response time is like 10 to 15 minutes tops, unless I'm asleep.
Nice.
Because that goes into, I also tell my clients they can...
Well, a lot of this stuff is time sensitive too.
Oh yeah, I tell them they can text me 24/7 because, like I said, you might wake up in the middle of the night and have a question about the transaction, but by 10 a.m., when you respectably want to reach out to me, you already forgot, and it might have been important.
What are your top 5 challenges that you see in the real estate market when someone's trying to buy a home or a property?
The big one is affordability right now. Panic.
Ooh, that's a good one. What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
I mean,
you are now listening to the Hisviewz podcast.
I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Hisviewz podcast. I have my man Luke with me. Luke is a real estate. Well, I'm going to have you introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Luke Blackwelder. I am the real estate champ. So I got into real estate around 2018, 2019. And, I was one of those kids that grew up watching Stone Cold and The Rock and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, I come from a legacy of champions in my family. So my grandmother, she got into real estate way back in the day, started her own firm in 79 that my uncle still runs to this day. I was a gym manager for a long time. I worked at my dad's body shop. I did some things, but I finally found what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. The transactions can get complicated. They can get stressful. No single one is the same. But at the end of the day, when the goals are achieved, when you get across that finish line, that's what it's all about.
Let's backtrack. How did you find yourself in the position you are now? Because I like to tell people you have to try a lot of different things in order to find the right path for you. So I guess in a nutshell, how did you come about to doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, so it's always been in the back of my mind, being that it's in the family. But at the same time, I was worried about a commission-only job.
Right.
So,
like we all are.
Yeah, right.
I mean, when we're all starting out, we're looking for the quick buck. We're looking for the for sure because the unknown is so scary. I get it.
But the interesting part about that, I decided to get into real estate after I had 3 kids and a wife. So
Just made it harder on yourself.
Just added so much more risk, and then I'll do it, right?
You sound like me, dude. I did everything backwards.
Yeah, I got out of high school, and I thought about it, but I didn't go into it. Kind of just did my own thing. Ended up working in the gym industry a little bit. Mm-hmm. Worked up my ranks to general manager there. Worked at a couple of the different big companies in the area. But then I realized, if you're not up the chain in a big company or you're not the owner,
you're going to have a tough time.
Yeah. Especially with a family. I was in the gym 60, 80 hours a week,
Managing?
Yeah.
So you
just had to have, because you want to give your family freedoms.
Yeah.
And where I was and what was happening just wasn't what I needed and what they needed.
And how many kids do you have?
3.
3 kids.
Yeah.
How old are they?
3, 9, and 14.
Wow.
All boys.
Poor Sam.
Yeah. Sam, she gets a run for her money, that's for sure.
So, obviously that makes it more challenging, you having kids. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about how you deal with those challenges, because it's obviously very hard, high stress environment, mm-hmm. but to to add to that, I mean, you kind of have to be very resilient to high stress almost every day. Is that a positive statement?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what are some of the things that you do to try to, condense it? Like, you can't obviously it's very hard. Like myself, I try to be active and I try to give myself some time here and there. But how do you try to condense that?
Yeah, so, I just kind of you just take every day, one day at a time, one step at a time, and you got to be up early.
Yeah.
If you don't get up early, man, your day is gone. It's going to be even more stressful because you're playing catch up all day long. So you got to get up early. You got to get a good routine.
And I know that sounds so cliche. Like all these influencers on social media. Oh, you gotta get up early.
So if you want to be a millionaire, you got to be up at 4 a.m. and
but it's true.
You got to be able to drop a quarter on your bed and catch it 5 feet in the air, right? Yeah. No, it's
But why is that? Why do you think that's true? Getting up early. I call it, getting up before the enemy, getting up before everybody else. Why is that?
Gives
such
you
a
a head start. Gives you a head start. If you're already a quarter into your day when everybody else is getting out of bed, you're ahead of the game, and you will always be ahead of the game. So, I have to structure my day because at the end of the day, my why is not so much the financial, but the freedom that I want my family to have. Like, I want to take the kids to Universal. What if I want to jump on a plane and take them to Jamaica for the week? Like, I want to be able to do stuff like that. I want to be able to, like Drake's doing travel ball this year. He just finished up playing school ball and he's playing travel ball baseball, and we're gonna get to go and get to enjoy that. And that's some things that I would have never got to enjoy if I didn't jump into this field and just hit the ground running.
There's a book by this military guy I really like, Jocko. You familiar with
I've heard of Jocko.
He has this book called Discipline Equals Freedom.
Okay.
Right? So what does that mean? That means when you get all your shit done, that gives you more time to do the shit that you actually want to do, right?
Yep.
So I want to get into what you do as a profession. In your profession, how does that? I mean, you have a family. You gotta. How do you do it? Like, me being a business owner, and I don't have a family, and I'm already as stressed as I am. How do you do it, and how did you find the time to educate yourself on like the real estate business as a whole?
Well, when you get right down to it, the backbone of the family is Samantha.
Good woman.
She's the glue.
Interesting.
I've sold properties up to 2 hours away from us, and I'm here, there, everywhere, a lot of the time. And she's the glue. She holds it all together. She's the backbone. She's running around doing her thing. But we have her mother and my mother. It takes a village, man. Especially when you're a business owner. I don't clock off. Like I tell my clients, hit me up 24 hours a day. I don't care, because you might wake up in the middle of the night and have a question that you're going to forget by 10 a.m. Go ahead and shoot it to me. I'm always on the go. Whether I'm writing an offer up at 11 in the morning or 11 at night, it doesn't matter. When it needs to get done, it's got to get done. And really, if I didn't have Samantha, a whole different world of hurt.
It's funny you say that, because I mentioned this in another podcast with my buddy Andrew. He's the guy I made the documentary on recently. And I've talked to other business owners and really successful guys, and 90% of them say the same thing. Like, I have a magnificent woman at home that helps keep things together, and it takes a team of real ones.
Yeah. And she drives me, like you'll have those nights where you're tired or, work smacking you up a good bit.
Yeah.
But
Because
You know?
having the wrong person could do the opposite, right?
Oh yeah, they can drag you down in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Been there. Yeah, man. You know. Oh gosh, you're showing. I looked up that girl on Facebook. You're showing her a house.
Oh Jesus!
Out of here, man. You know, she's great. You know, she's encouraging every step of the way, always pushing me. You know, and always reminding me to always stay true to me. You know, don't get out here and try to be something you're not.
Yeah.
Just be you, and you know, that's all that matters. You know, like you grow up in school and you always try to be fit in or try to be cool, and then you realize over time
It's not you.
just be you, and the people that are supposed to be in your circle will be there. You know,
You're gonna attract the right energy.
yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
Interesting. With what makes you? Let's talk about like what you do as a profession.
Yeah.
Like dude, you're super passionate. Like I know at least 20 quote unquote real estate agents, right? Because it's so saturated right now. Everyone's a real estate agent. But you can tell that there's levels, just like any industry. There's levels to everything. You're so passionate about what you do, man. Why, what is it about like real estate that really like gets you up out of bed every day and chasing these almost impossible, daunting tasks that you have to try and close these houses for these families or these people? Like, what is it? Why are you so passionate about it?
I mean, just you know, once you get to you fight and you fight. You get them what they need. You get to the closing table. It's just, I know it sounds cliche and all that good stuff, but I mean, it's just so wholesome when someone's, you know, like, you know, whether it's a young family or, you know,
You like helping
50,
people.
60-year-old man, you know, they're buying their first home. That's very exciting. Like
Yeah.
you're doing things that you probably thought you would never do, you know, especially these days.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just helping people making their dreams come true. And it sounds cliche,
It's not cliche.
but it's like literally, you know, you're helping people, whether it's their first home, whether it's their second home. You know, most people are going to, in their lifetime, live in about 3 to 5 owned homes. And your first home, you know, you're going to get in there, you're going to like it, you know, but on average, within the first 2 to 5 years, you're going to move because you're going to say, well, I might like that area a little bit better, and I might need this, or I'm pregnant now, gotta have another room.
Wow.
So life changes, you know, life throws the curveballs.
These are things that people don't even think about when they're buying a home.
But then, you know, you bought this so many years ago, that equity built up, the values keep going up, and you can use that to catapult you into the upgrade.
I never even thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's cliche, man, because the reason I started doing what I was doing was because of that. It started when I started my photography journey. I told myself, nah, man, I'm not gonna take pictures of people. The fuck the hell is that? I'm not gonna take. You know, I don't want to do that. I like the art of photography and all this. I don't want to take pictures of no one. But man, when my first job came through, some guy reached out to me on Instagram. You know, I didn't think anything of it. He ended up being a somebody. And when he told me that, you know, that photo shoot, after the fact, he told me that photo shoot was for his 30th birthday, and it meant a lot to him. And then I started doing more and more, and these people started feeling really good about themselves because of what I was doing for them. That's why I started doing it. I had no interest in doing it, but the fact that I get to help people with what I do for a living, man, and it translates to what I do now with providing plans and marketing content for these businesses. A lot of these businesses that people have built on their own backs, so it means a lot more to them. Because I get a majority of my clients are small business owners, so I get it, man. I get what it means to kind of, you know, I know it does sound cliche, but it's not. I get to help these people.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're working with someone that's buying the home for them, an investor, you know, people have goals and people have dreams, and you know, at the end of the day, we all want more freedom. And, if I can help someone get a little bit closer to that, then I'm happy,
Yeah.
And, like a lot of people, they think we're pushy. And
Why is that? Why is that?
Well, my most recent client that I've been working with, he told me, he said, man, he goes, the only reason when we buy houses, I always just call the listing agent is because everybody tries to push me into something.
Mm-hmm.
They'll show me a couple houses and they're like, all right, you want that one? Let's make an offer. Like, no. So with me, I would rather show you 50 houses, 75 houses, whatever it takes to get you to where you need to be. Because 2 years after closing, you're sitting on the couch with the wife and I pushed you into one. You're like, that douchebag pushed us in here and now we're not even happy. You think they're going to call me back to list it?
No, absolutely not.
You have to treat people like, this is how I do it. I treat them as if it was my son's buying a house. I want to treat them as if they were mine. So at the end of the day, I can't go wrong.
Yeah. If you had to list your top 5 challenges that families or couples or individuals go through when they're buying a home, and first-time buyers are probably different from second or third-time buyers, right?
It really just depends on the person. Every person has a different situation. Everybody's life's different.
What are your top 5 challenges that you see in the real estate market when someone's trying to buy a home or a property?
The big one is affordability right now. Them rates ain't playing with nobody. It's, it is what it is. You know what I mean? The rates are up. So in turn, the mortgage payments are up and the values are still up and the inventory is so low. I mean, they're not going up as quickly as they were, but we're in most places, we're still climbing, and affordability is going to be a big one with interest rates holding steady where they are. And then, of course, values have increased, especially since 2019. We all saw what happened there. The houses that you could get for 250 are now all going for 4+. It's just, the values just when the rates were dropped that low, you just had to know the buyers were going to flock. You would list the house during that time. Say you listed on Thursday, you might as well tell your sellers to go to the beach for the weekend because you're going to have so many showings and so many people at that house that they're not going to be able to be there.
Wow.
So when the values did that, and the rates coming back up because of inflation, it's just wham, bam, bam, So it does make it more difficult, but there's a less buyer's pool for sellers. So while these rates are a little bit higher, you can, get them concessions, get them repairs, you can work some things out a little bit more than just, how it was back then. I got 20 offers, so take it or leave it. So affordability is definitely a big one.
So affordability, rates. What's another 3 that you think
inventory?
What do you mean by inventory?
Supply and demand, baby. It's just we have just such a shortage.
Just a shortage of listings?
Yeah.
Wow.
We did see an uptick this month, which is trending in a good way. So we did have more listings on the market, which is great. But yeah, inventory being low has just been the big problem. And that's why you had so many multiple offer situations where you're just calling, final and best at this time, and whoever's got the most is the winner. It's just how it went.
So we have inventory, affordability, and rates. What are 2 other common challenges that you see?
Panic.
Ooh, that's a good one. What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
I mean, you get under contract, you're super excited, and I know the common assumption is once you get under contract, we're done, baby. No.
That's what I thought when we were doing when we were doing videos for your house. Like, yeah, awesome.
Oh no, man! That when I started, when you get that contract, he's like, yeah. But now, you just go, let's get to work. Because that home inspection comes in.
The contract is just a pre-workout.
Yeah, man. That inspection comes in, whether it's a new build or not. A home is a man-made product, and last time I checked, we ain't had a perfect man on earth in some time.
Yes.
So, them inspections come back. You gotta go to work. You gotta, at the end of the day, everybody's got the same goal, but everybody's got to win.
Yeah.
So we gotta, come to a meeting of the minds, and then hopefully everyone's happy at the end of the
That's
transaction.
an interesting one because I don't think a lot of people know that. I think a lot of people think contract and we got it in the bag, which was my assumption before working with you. I didn't know. When you told me, it's under contract, I'm like, awesome. And then a few days later, you're like, it went south.
Yeah. So and then we had the pest inspection, and they found standing water in the crawl space and some termite damage or some trusses that are messed up on the roof.
Which termite damage is like, this is the season, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. They're coming out. Coming out. And I always tell people, every 6 months, you should probably, if you have a crawl space, definitely get an inspection every 6 months. Inspection's $100, $125. Crawl space repair can vary from about a couple thousand to 30, 40,000. And then after you do all that, your water can still get in, even if you encapsulate it, because at the end of the day, it's a man-made product. They panic because, what if they don't do this? What if they don't do that? Well, let me get to work. Let me see what I can make happen here.
Ooh.
And, so like really until we're, I would say, week of closing, that's when we, good to go, baby. And sometimes it's literally 2 days before.
Wow.
Or you had to delay a couple months, and
that's not panic. That's a heart attack right there, man.
I'm telling you, you got movers scheduled, utilities, kids, got all this stuff lined up, and then they say, "Whoop, we're gonna have to push this back a little bit."
One more. So we got panic, and this is not in any order, but we have panic over different situations, especially when the contract has been signed.
Yeah.
We have the rates. We have pricing, and we have inventory.
Yeah.
So what's one? If you had to list one more, that it could be common or it could be something, surgical, that could mess up something. What's something else that you think could throw it off? One more thing.
If the couple buying the house don't agree on the same things.
Like what? Give me an example.
The wife wants this certain kitchen, but the husband wants to make sure he gets this man cave. Or, you know what I mean? I got to make sure that I got this shower. Or a lot of builders aren't putting tubs in the primary bathrooms anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's true, because I saw it in a lot. I've seen a lot of older houses. Yeah, you're right. It's all these standing up tile, fancy showers now.
Wifey was mad. Them leg days are brutal. She can't throw the Epsom salt in the tub and lay around for a little bit.
So what do you? So in that situation, are you showing them a variety of different listings?
Oh yeah, man. So, you sit down with someone, you have your consultation, make sure you're a good fit, and then you go through your needs and wants, and then you're gonna sit down with them and you're gonna show them a few listings so they kind of see what they're looking at. Obviously the pre-approval is gonna be a big one. You gotta stay in. What we want to spend, and we don't want to spend the whole pre-approval usually. You don't have to spend every penny you got. So, and then we're gonna put a search together and we're gonna hit it hard. The moment you see a house that remotely interests you, I'm telling you to call me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because pictures can overdo it and pictures can underdo it. It really depends on the agent.
I think that's why a lot of agents are going to video work now instead of photos, because the video actually is a better representation than the photos.
Yes.
Me being a photographer, like I know I can see it. You know, these photographers, they'll put on these super wide lenses on and they make stuff look super big, and then you get there and you're like, are we at the right house?
And then you got the agents that take their listing pictures with the iPhone.
We're not gonna talk about you guys. Shame on you guys.
Yeah.
Give me a call. Shame on you guys.
No. God. Selling someone's house and you're going to take phone pictures?
Why do you think that's bad as in a marketing standpoint? I know why it's bad, but for the viewer, what things, and this is a great question, what things can buyers look out for? And not that I don't want you to badmouth anybody else in your industry, but what are some things that buyers can look out for that they may not want to go with a certain agent or broker?
You're at a showing. You and the wife are looking around the house and you start to look, our furniture here. Okay, that could go there. Little Jimmy's stuff can go over here. So you're interested, right? So we're looking at the house and you look at me like, are we gonna check out the crawl space? And I say, the inspector will get it.
Oh no. That's a red flag. Even I know that.
No. No. And, you know, I'm in the attic. I'm in the crawl space. We're checking it out because I want to know if there's anything major before you put money on the line. Because if there is, before you put money on the line, I'm already saying, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? You know, you got to be very, very thorough. You know, you got to really take care of people because at the end of the day, you know, we survive off referrals. And it's all about how you treat people. You know, I'm finally over 50 5-star reviews, and you know, it took a long time and it took a lot of hard work.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2018, 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, so still kind of new. I have been called a veteran agent a couple times, but to me, I still feel new. Although I do have a really good mentor. My uncle's been doing this thing for close to 4 decades, and he's really helped me out a lot.
He probably keeps his ear to everything that changes too. He's probably up to date on a lot of things.
Yeah. And he's been very good about teaching me things and throwing me into the fire. And
I always say mentors are like the cheat code, man.
Oh yeah,
mentor. I have this one mentor who he's a commercial photographer, and every time I meet with him, man, it escalates me a year or two. Yeah. Because of the stuff that he tells me to do and what to look out for. And a lot of the things are stuff that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
That's always all the things.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is you don't want to hear, man. But I'll tell you what, if you find yourself a good mentor, invest, baby. Invest in that mentor. It's literally, again, and I'm going to make a t-shirt. Mentors are the cheat code.
Yeah.
Dude, that equates to, not to jump off topic, but that equates to how public school was for a lot of people.
Oh, dude.
I kicked myself in the butt because I thought I thought I was stupid, you know? The last grade I finished was the 8th grade. And I thought I always told people, oh, school's just not for me. And people would look at me like I was crazy. Yeah. And the reality is that they're in my opinion, they're just not teaching you how to win. They're teaching you how to play by the system.
Yeah.
How to play by their rules, how to play by their curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that is why a lot of my son's teachers send us a lot of messages. Because
he probably gets it. He probably feels it.
Oh, yeah. Because I tell them, when they talk to me about school, I tell them the real and I tell them not to hold back. Because growing up, I was the kid in the principal's office. And now I'm the parent coming in, baby.
And you're not going to be intimidated by no principal.
Man, let's go. I've been waiting for this my whole life.
I mean,
but I mean, they're not disrespectful and all that, but
But you're teaching them the reality.
Yeah. I'm teaching them what life is, you know.
Because when I was growing up, man, it was all like, oh, you have to go to school, you have to play by the rules, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Well, my kid's school is 60 is passing.
My mother wanted me to be, imagine this, my mother wanted me to be a doctor's office manager. Granted, she had the best intentions. She wanted me to go the safe route. She wanted me to have something stable with benefits and stuff like that. But dude, that did absolutely nothing for me. It made me feel like I was a lazy person. It made me feel like I was a bad employee because I never wanted to be there. I never wanted to work. I never wanted to do anything. It took a while, but when I hit 32 and started figuring things out that I could start doing stuff on my own, man, that's when life really changed for me. And my 30s went by like this, but that's a topic for another day. But the point is that, you know, educating yourself is extremely important, of course, but the time is limited. You got to make sure you're educating yourself on the right things. But you're never going to know what those right things are until you have a set purpose or a set goal.
Exactly.
And that's where, you know, to me, that's where school, for me, from my own personal experience, that's where it failed me. So I get that. And that's where mentors come into play in a big way, because they fill in the gaps to where I have nobody else to tell me these things, to teach me these things, and that's where the cheat codes are at.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
What is something that your future clientele should know about you if they were wanting to approach you for your services? Like, what's something what basically sets you apart from everybody else in your industry? Why should I go to Luke and ask for his expertise?
Because I'm going to be real with you. If you're interested in something that's going to run your pockets dry, I'm going to tell you.
And if that's the way you want to go, we'll do it. Yeah. I'll ride with you.
Yeah. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you my opinion on the property. I'm going to do my research, and I'm going to provide you all the research. I'm going to put all the numbers in front of you. I'm going to give you my opinion so that you can make the best decision for your family. And I'm probably more accessible than most people on the planet. My response time is like 10 to 15 minutes tops, unless I'm asleep.
Nice.
So, because that goes into, I also tell my clients they can.
Well, a lot of this stuff is time sensitive too.
Oh yeah, I tell them they can text me 24/7 because, like I said, you know, you might wake up in the middle of the night and have a question about the transaction, but by 10 a.m. when you respectably want to reach out to me, you've already forgot, and it might have been important. So if you shoot me that text, when I get up, I'm able to go ahead and jump on it, figure out what I need to figure out, and get it back to you.
That's so interesting because I'm actually going through a transition right now. So I just got a personal line because my main line, everybody's blowing it up.
Yeah.
So I never put it down. So I told myself, you know what? I have to. Granted, what I do is completely different from what you do. So like your stuff is time sensitive. Mine is not that much. So, you know, I thankfully have the luxury to where I can kind of, okay, I'll take this phone from 8 to 5 on such and such days.
Yeah.
After 5 o'clock, it goes down. I'll pick up my personal line. My personal line has nothing on it. No social media.
Yeah.
No calendar. No emails. We're gonna try it out. You know. But I had to start doing that because I was becoming way too accessible to people that didn't I don't want to say deserve it, because I want to give everyone my time, but people that didn't respect it. You know, especially when like they're bigger companies. Smaller business owners, you know, that's not an issue for me, because like I'm a small business owner. Like something's worrying me, I want to know now.
Yeah.
But like if you're like a, you know, bigger company or something like that, and you're trying to reach out to me on a Saturday night, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, no, man. Like, this can wait till Monday morning. So we're gonna try that out. But that's really Admiral. How do you say it? Admirable. We're gonna cut that out. That's really. I'm not even gonna try to say it. That's really big of you.
Yeah.
To do that, because you recognize that this process is so time sensitive. You want to make sure that your clients are
and
you're there.
And with this, you're trusting me with your livelihood, with where you're gonna live. So if you hit me up, a couple hours go by, and I don't hit you back, are you gonna feel like I deserve this commission?
Absolutely not. No. Yeah.
No, I gotta earn it.
No.
So I gotta be available. I gotta get to work. I gotta make everything happen in a timely fashion. I gotta hit you with the counters, with the negotiations. We gotta work it out, and we gotta get it done. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to terminate a deal. We want to close.
I'm very. I used to not be so responsive to people, but now, I learned the hard way dealing with other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of leaving them on the back burner, not because I wanted to, but because I was trying to focus so much on what was in front of me that I said, they can wait. But I learned my lesson with that. And now I expect the same treatment as well when it's with certain people or certain entrepreneurs, because they get it. They know time is money. They know some things can't wait till Monday. We got to figure this shit out now.
And it's so crucial too when you're just like a high performing person, and you're always like bam, 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 bam. And then on the other side, you're working with somebody, and they're like, I'm just like,
trust me, I just went through something like that, and it was people just run on different frequencies.
Yeah.
Especially
I feel like I'm on 10 all the time.
especially when you're dealing with people that don't understand what it's like to own a business or what it's like to be an entrepreneur or take these risks and sacrifices and all this other stuff. I know, again, that's super cliche because you see it all over social media, man, but it's the reality. We take risks that other people don't want to take.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a couple months without getting a paycheck before.
Dude. I mean,
just sliding on the skin of your teeth.
I mean, right now I'm investing in this studio. Yeah. I'm investing in gear. I'm investing in people.
Can elevate without investing.
Right. But right now, before the first week is up, I'm breaking even. Like I'm like, oh man, this is back to my hustle days where I didn't have anything, but I also have to realize it takes time, it takes money, and it takes patience to build things, and that I have to keep reminding myself, even after 7 years, I have to keep reminding myself that this is just how it is with this particular path.
Yeah.
That you are going to be always taking higher risks, and you're always going to be sacrificing a little bit more than the other person, because the reward is tenfold, baby.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I like to close we already have 40 minutes. I like to close my podcast out with asking each individual if there was something that you can pass on to somebody else that was seeking to do their own thing or wanting to do their own thing, or they had dreams that they haven't yet even tried to fulfill. What's one piece of advice you could give them?
This is a big one. No goal you achieve will make you happy. The life that you live will make you happy. When you're in the trenches and you're grinding your tail off, and there's going to be times where you're questioning if you're going to be able to make bills, if you're going to be able to do this, if you're going to be able to do that. It's going to happen. But just know, the harder the losing season, the bigger the winning season. And I'm living proof. The fourth quarter of last year was awful. I ain't even going to sugarcoat it. It was awful.
It was bad.
And this month I'll close the upward of $4 million.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
it's like, when you feel like you're about to break, you're about to break. You're about to have a breakthrough.
But
that's the perseverance.
But what's the ingredient to keep that? Is it consistency? Is it what is it?
Being too stupid to give up.
Mm.
That's what I am.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm too stupid to know when to give up. And I just keep going.
There's been plenty of times where I've been in some situations where it was like, you just roll the dice and you just fight.
Yeah.
That's what life is, right?
Yeah.
You're always fighting to get to the next level, to upgrade your life.
Yeah.
To give your family more. So it's always a fight. So why not fight for yourself?
Mm. Amen. Dude, thank you so much. That was a refreshing conversation, especially that last part, because that last part is exactly what I'm currently going through right now. So thank you very much for that. And this is why I like to have conversations with people that kind of live a similar lifestyle to mine, just because they get it, they understand.
It's like with me, routine is everything. Back in 2020, I had really let myself go.
Where like every day was just kind of different, and you weren't following a specific regimen.
So we got married in October 2019, and we were just happy. Shortly after, world shut down, turned upside down, and from October to September, I had went from 170 to 250 pounds.
Damn.
And I was like, this isn't the life I want to live. This isn't the man I want my boys to be. So it's time to become the man I want my boys to be. Called my coach, Ty Young. We got to work.
Shout out to Ty.
Shout out to Ty, baby. He's the best.
Yeah, he is.
We got to work. I went from, 240, 250. We got down to 155. We've been building back up. Sitting at 180 right now. Gonna build it up till winter, cut it back down,
Hell yeah.
But at the same time, it's setting an example. It's letting these boys know that you got to be on go all the time. If you want the life that you want, you got to start your day early with God, get in your routine, hit the gym hard, hit the business way harder. You almost got to work till your eyes bleed to make it out here right now.
Facts.
And I just want them to know, I want them to see. I want them to have that example like I had. Like, there's no man, I think, on this planet that works harder than my dad does. And if I can even be half the dad that he is to mine, then I'm good.
And for those listening, what he's saying, and I'm gonna make a testimony right now. What he's saying is exactly what I need to be hearing right now. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, what he's saying is 1,000% correct. A lot of us we do so much to sacrifice to get to where we want to be, and we do it behind closed doors. Nobody really sees it. Nobody can smell it, taste it, or touch it. And you don't want them to. You don't want them to see how bad the struggle is. So they don't see how crazy you look. But just this morning, man, I was like, man, I have to get a routine down. I have to do this harder. I have to do this harder. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, I have to get back to getting up early every day.
The first 2 weeks is the hardest.
I was getting up 4 or 5 o'clock easy.
Yeah.
But having a strict routine.
Yeah.
But then when you get up at 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock and don't have a routine, you do a little this.
You do a little this.
You do a little this. You do, and then before you know it, it's 7, 8 o'clock and you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly, man. You're just done.
So thank you for those words, man. We have to get going, but I will make sure to put Luke's information down below. He is extremely knowledgeable about what he does. You do real estate. You do a little bit of brokering too, or real estate brokering, consultations, land, the whole nine.
Yeah, I've sold commercial, sold residential.
Oh, you sold commercial too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning of my career, I did sell a commercial lot up in Rockwell, North Carolina. Shout out to the country. But it's been mostly residential since then.
But you know,
but I
your way
also
around.
consult, and I have had other agents reach out to me for advice, and I'm always happy to help because, you know, in this life, you got to be a sponge and you got to be able to share it, man.
I think that's something that
We can all win.
I think that's something that I find, and I'll close with this, that I see in the real estate industry is like everyone's always against each other instead of like helping each other. And what people don't realize with any industry is if you have a team of people, then the game changes. But you have to have the mentality to.
Yeah, I mean that's like for example, there's another realtor in the area, and good friend of mine at a different firm, and he found out I got a milestone sale on the lake going down this Friday, and his first thing to me was, yeah, absolutely. His first thing to me is, when we celebrating, bro.
That's awesome.
That's major. Shout out to Andy.
That's awesome. It's very similar to the milestone I just hit with releasing my documentary.
Yeah, that was huge.
And people don't, the people that do understand, you know, there was a lot of people that I didn't get support from or congratulations from. That kind of shocked me.
Oh yeah. But then all the people that you didn't expect.
Correct. I mean, there was people like, I was so appreciative of everyone that either came out or they just been following or just whatever, any kind of support. I mean, you know, it was shocking. But anyways, dude, we're gonna wrap up. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
you were awesome to talk to, and I mean, I already respected you, but I have even more respect for you now. And thank you those for listening to the Hisviewz podcast, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.